I'm Robert Williams from MetalRules.com, and joining me tonight in San Antonio, Texas, is Saxon vocalist and British heavy metal legend Biff Byford of Saxon. How you doing today, Biff?
I'm doing good. Good to be here.
So you guys got quite a history in San Antonio. How does it feel to be back in San Antonio?
Yeah, I mean, I think San Antonio's our biggest city in the States for, just our biggest city, really. Best airplay and things like that. Yeah, it's good to play San Antonio. It's always like a big special audience, so, you know, it's a festival tonight, so not get as much time to play as we normally get, but yeah, it should be good.
I know out here you guys have been known to draw crowds of like 5,000 people, and where other cities it might be 250, 300. This is the first time you guys have been over in support of a new album. Are you starting to see bigger turnouts?
Yeah, bigger turnouts, yeah, definitely. West Coast was great. Actually, all down to Las Vegas was pretty great. Yeah, it was good. I mean, I think people are really psyched about the new album. Yeah. We're getting quite a lot of airplay, and they told me yesterday that it's selling really well.
So let's talk about the new album called Arms, Biff. Let's talk about the song Back in '79, where you had 79 of your Saxon fans providing the backing choirs on that. How did that turn out? Was it one big party in the studio?
Well, we had 200 people turn up. We could only actually fit in... Actually, we didn't put in 79. We got everybody's names that sang on the album. And funnily enough, there was 79 of them, so it's a bit quirky. But we did the same thing in 1981 with Denim and Leather.
Oh, wow.
Although we did it on the telephone then and by mail. So, you know, this time was the internet. So, you know, we put out a message on our website on Thursday and Friday nights. People turned up, so...
One thing I've always enjoyed, you know, every time I get a Saxon record, is you always have the most kick-ass lyrics. You're real consistent with that. What were your lyrical inspirations for Called Arms?
Well, I mean, our co-producer, he's really into early Saxon. I mean, he's younger than we are, so but he got off on the early Saxon stuff, you know. And, he wanted us to go back a bit and try and get in the zone where we were sort of, you know, writing songs for working class people, you know, like we were. And I just went back to that zone for this album a bit. You know, back in '79, Ballad of the Working Man, surviving against the odds.
How have you kept your voice in such great shape all these years?
I don't know. I have to put it down to my wife, probably. Who looks after me. I don't know really. It's just good. My voice is good at the moment.
Yeah.
You know. I mean, I stopped smoking, you know, quite a long time ago.
So the American Digipack version of Call to Arms features 7 bonus tracks from the classic Castle Donington performance you guys did. What all can you remember from that, Biff?
Well, it was our first big festival, actually. It was one of the forerunners of the big, you know, metal festivals in Europe. And we were like one of the new bands on the block on that festival. Everybody else was fairly established, like, you know, Rainbow, Judas Priest, Scorpions. They were pretty big, and we were the sort of new guys. And yeah, it was great. It was a great day because I think we'd sold about 200,000 copies of Wheels of Steel when we walked on stage. Wow. So it was like, and we got an email one day from one of our old managers saying he'd got 7 old multi-track tapes in the attic. And did we want to buy them? So we said, yeah, we can. So we bought them and took them off to London. They baked them, you know, these old tapes. They baked them in an oven for like 48 hours. And that seals in the oxide tape because, you know, it's not been played for 30 years, so deteriorating a little bit.
We were talking about that last time around. That was the one with the ransom letter, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's what I did, yeah. So anyway, we mixed it, and it sounded fantastic. And, you know, because there's a bootleg version out, I thought we should give it away, the album really. You know, do a digipack, give it away, and people can, you know, hear a snapshot of the 80s. You know, when we were first starting to really happen, Maiden were happening then, and, you know, Def Leppard were happening. You know, a lot of bands, you know, Tags of Pantang, Praying Mantis, Damned,
Angel Witch,
hundreds of bands. That, you know, I can go on. You know, there's loads of bands. And that's just a snapshot of that audience in 1980. I think it goes well with the new album because you can hear the connection between the band now and then.
So the long-awaited and much-anticipated Saxon documentary, Heavy Metal Thunder, the movie, is finally released on DVD. And you got, all your peers from Lars from Metallica, Lemmy, Mickey, and Fast Eddie from Motorhead, Doro are all on there giving you guys props.
Yeah, we got Airborne, our good mates Airborne on there, and a lot of bands really. Hammerfall. Yeah, yeah, they're all big pals, and it's great for them to appear on there. I mean, the thing is, it's not our DVD. It's done by somebody else, so. It's even nicer for them to get involved.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's different if we go up with a microphone and say, "Hey, Lemmy, do you want to say every word?" Then he's going to say, "Yeah," But if somebody else approaches them, it's even better.
And you got the fans involved. The executive
yeah, we
producers.
got the fans involved. Yeah, that's good. It's going to be coming out worldwide fairly soon. But like I say, it's not really our DVD from themselves. So they're doing it themselves.
And also the past Saxon members, Graham Oliver, Steve Dawson, they lend their thoughts on that. And I know.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, the whole film, it's like sad, funny, and it's the thing is, for so long, people haven't really known the history of the band. I mean, obviously, people bought my book, Never Surrender. That goes through a lot of history of the split up and the thing. But the film goes through it, and gives you an insight into what was happening with the band, and the chemistry wasn't quite right, in the late 80s, and we just were a bit floundering a bit, and the whole grunge thing was happening, and the American bands are coming strong, like Motley Crue and Poison and Rat. They were all coming. So I just think we lost our way a little bit then, and that the film tells that story really. Quite sad, some parts of it. It's how it goes, really. It's rock and roll.
So I know there's no plans to ever reunite with Oliver or Dawson, but has them contributing to the film? Are you all on good terms at all now, or?
Well, it's hot and cold, really. It's hot and cold. I mean, we allow them to use this Oliver Dawson Saxon moniker if all the words are the same size. But really, until they stop pretending to be in Saxon, I don't really see how we can do a reunion. I mean, I would be up for one if they, called themselves Son of a Bitch or something, or, got a good band together and did some gigs. But they're always on this, we were this and we were that, and we should have done this and we should have done that. And it's, they're running the name of Saxon down all the time.
Yeah.
And they're stupid because they get a lot of money off publishing and things, So, the bigger the band are, the more they get. So it's really silly for them to be negative. They should be on positive. They should be positive force, not negative. And then doors might open.
Wow.
I've said to them, if you stop pretending to be in Saxon after 28 years or whatever, how long Steve Dawson's been out of the band, then we can maybe move on. But until that happens, we can't move on.
Are you thinking something similar to what the Scorps are doing? Like when they play Bakken, they invite Uli John Roth and shake it up on stage?
I'm not thinking of anything. I'm just saying that if they changed their attitude and grew up a bit and lived in the present rather than living in the 80s, then maybe we could do something together. But until that happens, then it won't happen.
You guys are currently wrapping up this North American tour. What's next on the plate for Saxon?
South America. After America, we go straight down there. Fly straight into Santiago. I think I'm going to LA to do a VH1 show, and then we'll go down to Santiago. So yeah, we're doing that, and then we got 10 days off, and then we start a second half of the European tour. So we hit UK, all the countries again, really. The album's done really well, so, there's a big, massive, we're just happening at the moment, so we may as well hit it while the iron's hot,
No rest for the wicked,
No
right?
rest for the wicked, man, that's right.
Well, Biff, thanks so much for taking the time to talk metal. Any last words for your fans watching at home?
Yeah, remember what our slogan is. People tend to forget this, just two little words: never surrender.